So far, I have spoken about your target audience, your way of delivery, your speech and all of that. But then how do you know that you have reached your target, the bull's eye? By feedback. Feedback is something very, very important in any kind of interaction. Even a teacher, forget about addressing your audience, even a teacher when he or she is teaching in a class would wait for a feedback whether her or his lesson had been understood by the students. In the same way, when we talk about a feedback, to be very, very specific, let's see what a feedback is. It's a reaction or response to a particular process or activity. And what was the activity here? Activity was to address the audience or to speak to a person, to speak to a group of persons on certain topic. Topic could be related to office work, the topic could be related to a social important work. So all of that could evoke a kind of response from the other side. That is feedback. Evaluative information derived from a reaction or a response. I have responded by talking to you. Now, I would want a counter response from you in the way of an evaluation. Evaluation is a kind of an assessment. Did my objective get across? Did my idea be understood by you? That is what we mean by feedback. And being able to give an analysis and a response is a skill that is useful in our personal and professional lives. Now read the last one. Giving feedback is a skill, which I will show you later on. And why I'm saying it's a skill? Because the information has to be analyzed first. To listen is prior to analysis. Listen to the important speech or the interaction or the communication which has been made, analyze it, and then you give the response. And the response has to be in such a way that the person on the other side realizes that you have heard him and you have analyzed what he said. Clarify, here I'm saying use feedback positively. Now, clarify good performance. It helps you, when you get a good feedback, it helps you to move on. Suppose your feedback is not positive. Doesn't matter. You clarify good performance in the sense that you could always suggest that it would have been better if we got a little more information on something. So that is a little suggestion. Then comes help develop self-assessment. That means I want to find out more about myself when I am targeting the audience. So that gives you a kind of self-assessment. If it goes well, you want to better the best, as we always say. If it did not go well, we try and find out how to correct it and do the presentation in a better way next time. Deliver high quality information. So when you have informations from the other side, you have to realize that this information has been of very high grade and I'm going to keep to the standard, and the person who's giving the feedback also should point out whether it was of a higher standard in many ways. Like a statement opening like this, that this was one of the best presentations I have seen. But if you could put in a little more information regarding the sale, I would be more obliged. Now you see, the opening statement is very, very encouraging. In case the feedback is not up to your liking or there has to be some changes made, enter into a dialogue. Call up the person, invite the person, or take an appointment, go and meet the person or the group and enter into a dialogue and talk to the people there. Sometimes here I would mention that sometimes if it is a group audience, we leave sheets of paper for their feedback. So in this case, you may not be able to enter into a dialogue, but what you could do, there could be a line given there that any kind of dialogue is most appreciated, will be highly appreciated. You could put it your way. So you see, your details are there. Anybody who would want to talk to you again, follow up again with you, they will enter into a dialogue. You can encourage a dialogue like this. Encourage motivational belief and self-esteem. So as I said, that if it is a good feedback, it's very, very motivating for a person, so that she or he can go further. You know, nothing succeeds like success. So the next presentation or the next interview, the next group meeting will be better. Provide opportunities to close the gap. Every time you introduce a new concept, you wait and ask for a feedback. Show of hands, something like this. How many of you agree with this concept? A show of hands. So which means that 50% of the people are with you, the other lot is not. So you try and encourage them to follow your guidelines very carefully, so that they also understand the utility of a particular product. Suppose once again my example is the same, that you are selling a product and 50% of the audience have understood the important and utility, the other 50% hasn't. So again you change your presentation a little, make a little change and put it across to them. So you can do it from time to time. It's like closing the gap, as we say. Provide information to teachers to improve teaching and physicians for treatment. For example, see, I have given you very, very specific example here because I took up teachers and physicians. This positive feedback that you get from teachers or from physicians, for example, will help you to get back to their institutions again, and you can give them ideas of how school teaching could improve, or how the physicians, nursing home or the hospital OT could be equipped with a better machine. So all this will add to your good feedback, and that feedback can also help people socially if you are absolutely comfortable with any kind of positive and negative corrections.